everyone, and welcome to Thorough Newspaper Analysis, which is brought to you by LawSeco. So, the only article that we'll be discussing today is from The Hindu, which is titled as A Step Back in Gender Equality. So, a part of this article we have already discussed about the idea of paying remuneration to the women for the domestic and care work that they do at the homes. As we know that recently a political party has proposed this idea, so it has been further discussed in this article. And secondly, we have the news and flash column for a prelims exam. So if you're also preparing for judicial services examination, you can have a look at the Lord of the Courses, which is the judiciary test prep course coming from LawSeco. So it is a very amazing course drafted for all the judicial services aspirants, and the link is there in the description box below. Also, from the landing page, you can download free study material for your own preparation. Let's see that what is the multiple choice question from yesterday's discussion. Geological Survey of India has found the possibility of vanadium in which of the following states? So your options are Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Nagaland, or Manipur. You can write down your answer in the comment section below. So this is the descriptive question for the day. Paying salaries or wages for housework will help to build respect for domestic labor and give women dignity. Comment. So, as we know that there has been an electoral promise to pay women for carrying out domestic work and for the domestic work and care by the Makkal Nidhi Mayam political party in Tamil Nadu. And this party basically, this is the party that belongs to Kamal Hassan, and it has promised that if at all it comes to power, it would be paying the women, it would be bringing the provision for paying the women for the domestic work and care work that they do at the homes. Now, there are related concerns regarding this and why at all we need to recognize this very problem of the domestic care workers, as in the mothers, the women who work in the homes, that there is a disproportionate burden of work. Now, how come? According to the All India Time Use Survey of 2019, and we talk about the All India, above the age of 6 years and above, 81% women versus 26% males participated in the unpaid domestic work. Now, what we need to see here is that from the age above 6 years, 81% women participate in the domestic work, while on the contrary, only 26% of males participated in the same unpaid domestic work. And 82% females for 6 years and above, as against 25% males from Tamil Nadu participate in domestic work. Now, this is an all India scenario, and this is from the state of Tamil Nadu, from where this very idea of this electoral promise has been made. So even there, the situation is not really good, because 82% females above the age of 6 years and above, they are engaged into unpaid domestic work, as against just 25% males in the state of Tamil Nadu. Now, what we need to understand here is that though the idea seems to be very nice and very, egalitarian in its first view, but can this proposal address the burden of women? So, if we talk about the feminist economics, whose name is Diane Elson, so she said in 2017 that the public policy should aim at closing the gap in unpaid domestic care and care work through 3 R's. Now, these 3 R's are recognition, reduction, and redistribution. So it says that this proposal pays attention only to the first one. So it says that this point in here, where we are saying that we should be paying remuneration to the unpaid domestic workers and women who are doing these unpaid domestic works. So this proposal definitely fulfills the first important step, that is recognition. But unfortunately, this is the only thing that is fulfilled by this proposal, and we have got absolutely no plan or model as to how we'll be able to reduce this problem and also redistribute the resources equally amongst men and women. So if we talk about the other two aspects, so if we talk about the reduction, the policy has the potential to increase the burden of work on women, and paying monetary benefits would be equal to risk of formalizing the social norm. Now, this is such an important point that has been raised in this article, that instead of reducing the number or the percentage of women that are engaged in the unpaid work, what this policy has the potential to do, that this can rather formalize. Now, because what it would be thought in a long run, that women are the ones who are responsible for doing such domestic works, and since they are getting paid for it, it would become a formal thing in the entire society that it is the woman whose duty is to work at home, and it is the man who has to move out and work into other enterprises and other kinds of jobs. So if we pay the monetary benefits, then it would definitely have the risk of formalizing the social norm, and it would rather increase the burden of work on women. Then, if we talk about the redistribution, it might give more space for men to claim that women are bound to do these unpaid work. So, by redistribution, what actually should have been done was that all the resources, now be it economical, social, financial, any kind of resources, should have been equally distributed between men and women. But once if we start paying the work, the women for this domestic work that they're doing, and instead of actually trying to bring men into this workforce or men into realizing the very importance of the domestic unpaid work, what we will tend to do is that we will create an idea in the minds of men that it is the women who are bound to do this, and these are the only resources that they are they should have the access to, or they deserve in the real sense. And that is why it would give actually more space for men to claim that women are bound to do these unpaid work. And so thus this policy, if at all implemented with the real idea that we have in right now, it would only fulfill the idea of recognition and might just do opposite of the very ideas of reduction and redistribution. So rather, it says that a better solution can be that men can be incentivized to participate more and spend longer hours in such work. Now, see, what we want to do is that we want to give women their social security. We want them to have financial security. We want their efforts and unpaid work to be recognized and to be paid, or, in a way, give respect to the women for doing this domestic work. Now, there can be two ideas to do it. Firstly, we start paying women to for this unpaid domestic work. On the other side, is it not possible that we make the men realize that how much important this work is, and that they should also equally participate and help the women in this particular kind of work? So if this is done, it will definitely bring a better behavioral change in the society as well. So it is rather a better option than just paying the women for their unpaid domestic work. So you can go through these photographs as well. So it says for men, they only spend 1 hour, 45 minutes a day in such work. But on the contrary, women spend 4 hours and 90 minutes per day in the unpaid domestic work. With this, let's see what do we have for news in flash. Swami Vivekanand Jayanti. So it is also celebrated as the National Youth Day or Yuva Divas, 12th January. So actually his real name was Narendranath Datta, and he was born on January 1982, 12th January 1982 in Calcutta, and was a chief disciple of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahans, and played a very important role in the revival of Hinduism in India. So this date should be remembered very clearly. So we're done for the day. We hope it was a good session for you. If you wish to download the PDF for today's slides, you can join our Telegram group, the link to which is there in the description box below. You can also visit our website for any other information. Thank you so much.